The world is fallen, the world is dark, and the present darkness is to be understood, I think, by understanding, again, the role that fathers play in the increasing darkness of the world. The Old Testament talks about the sins of the fathers being visited on the third and fourth generation. In other words, what corrupts sequential generations is the sins of the fathers. They have grave responsibility for whatever a society is, whatever a culture is. It's that fathers don't teach their children how to suffer difficulty, and so they burn things and tear things down and destroy things and kill people.
This is the story of a brave group of people fighting for their homeland. A tale of family and betrayal, and the adventure that brought me face to face with Lorethrough Drakan, Lord of Morytania and Vampyres, the vampire realm of blood-red skies. Our story begins in the small town of Slepe, found on the coast just east of the vampire capital known as Darkmeyer. Upon our arrival, the citizens of the town seem on edge, or worse, unresponsive and glossy-eyed. Could this just be from the blood tithes demanded by the Drakan family that controls the area? Or is there something even more sinister going on here? Worse yet, there are rumors something terrible is living beneath the city that feeds on the life force of the sleeping people. Veliaf Hertz is one of the leaders of the resistance in Morytania, known as the Myarchy. He tells me there's a mysterious illness called the Sleeper Plague affecting the people here, and he thinks the vampires are responsible. This man in the church tells me his friend collapsed after drinking at the bar. So I, naturally, want some of what he's having. But the bartender Carl is suspicious of my motives. I steal his last pint anyway, to share with any cute vampire ladies we may come across in the future.
And the business, we call this foreshadowing.
I then followed Carl, to see from whence this foul brew came, and how I can get more. Then it was that I stumbled upon a meeting most nefarious. This whole blood shortage bites. There's no blood shortage, man. It's all fake. Like I heard about this group of vampires out west that survive just fine off animals. In my country, we eat our younglings. Oh, really? Yes, but this is Morytania. Wuss? What was that? Guys, maybe it was the cops. After Vanstrom Klause leaves with Damien Darkmeyer to discuss who's in charge of the blood tithes in Morytania, I quickly kill their herbalist Croy, responsible for the re-emergence of the Sleeper Plague originally brought on by the Sisterhood many years ago, in feeble attempt to extend their lives. Veliaf then tells me he's heard rumors of unusual werewolf activity in the area, and thinks our old friend Drezel back at Paterdomus can help. Shockingly, he does not. We then go to spy on a meeting between the vampires and werewolves to learn more. After witnessing an exchange of victims doomed for blood tithing between the werewolves and vampires, we are restrained by Vanescula Drakan. Now this is what I'm talking about. Vanescula offers the Myarchy an alliance, that she may claim her brother's throne for her own. We were given no alternative. So it was that I escorted the young Ivan through the swamps and back to safety, or what little of it these people's fate allows. The small group of warriors the Myarchy had remaining gathered at the Icene graveyard, the private place where lay the bones of the Hallow family, which ruled this land once known as Hallowvale before the vampire scourge. Vanescula asked to speak with Safalaan Hallow and me, privately, and tells us to look within the tomb Queen of Hallow had made there for her husband. In it, we found Safalaan's own sister. Vanescula then told us Safalaan's mother was Queen of and his father is now a vampire, living under a new name, Vanstrom Klause. Safalaan and I go back to the laboratory beneath the mire ditch to see if there was anything that we may have missed before.
What the dog doing?
We find a book on Hame alchemy, a blood magic studied by the Vampyres. With it, Vanescula comes up with a plan to use an ancient blisterwood tree located in the heart of the capital city of Darkmeyer to enhance the powers of the legendary Avandis flail, the Myarchy's most prized weapon, crafted from an artifact of the mighty Avandis Sirgace, ancestor to our own Ivan. To gain access to the city, we needed to make a disguise that would fool the eyes and noses of the merciless Firewatch sentinels. Getting the fabric was easy enough, but the scent had to come from a noble, and we knew just who that was going to be. We were finally ready to enter Darkmeyer, the capital of the Sanguinesti region and home to Lorethrough Drakan, the vampire lord. There were rumors that Lord Drakan had returned to Vampyrium to bring back strange and horrible species to fight in his theater of blood, held in the castle once owned by Safalaan's own mother, Queen of but no one had seen Lord Drakan for a long time. I gained access to the Arboretum and gathered the logs of the blisterwood tree locked away long ago. With them, the Myarchy forged a powerful new weapon to fight the vampires we called the blisterwood flail. We were finally starting to feel like we had a chance. Maybe for once, the human race could have the upper hand. The Myarchy came today to earn their freedom. But we did not expect the vampire lord himself to see through it all, and there was nothing we could do. It was time. Everything we ever prepared for, and that all these people died for, came down to this. And I did not bring the right gear. This was much better. And though many didn't live to see it, Vanstrom Klause fell upon the streets of Darkmeyer that day. Felioff went out on his own. We haven't heard from him since. Back at the Hallow family graveyard, there's a grave that reads, "Nostalgia is a side effect of dying." Sometimes I go there to think of Safalaan and Vanescula, and wonder what horrors they found within the walls of that wretched vampire castle. I often wonder how Ivan is taking all of this. Some say that Ivan is the last remaining member of the Myarchy. Or is he?